Michelle Collins is here. She will not stop rattling the microphone. Can you leave that alone, Michelle?
I'm sorry, it's just so pretty.
Michelle Collins has been a fixture on our television screens for over 20 years, since she came to fame playing Cindy Beale, of course, in EastEnders. In 2011, she joined the cast of the nation's much-loved soap Coronation Street, Corrie, to play Rover's return landlady Stella Price. She came out last week, right?
Stella left about a week and a half ago, yes, and she got in a taxi and went to New York.
What's she going to do in New York? Can she come back?
She's going to stay with an old school friend, apparently.
I hope she's very happy. Will she be working in a bar?
Possibly. Or a bistro. I don't know, Steve. I hadn't really sort of got involved in all that, what she's going to be doing. Maybe that's a spin-off. I don't know. Yeah. It's been left open, so
she
who
could
knows?
come back.
And she has family there, so she could possibly come back, yes.
I tell you what I was impressed with, because having seen you in EastEnders, I'm thinking, how are you going to do that northern accent? And I know you got a bit of stick for it at the beginning.
A lot of stick.
But I thought it, honestly, I thought it was completely convincing. And it was only because we'd seen you as the other character for years and years that we thought, oh, maybe it's not quite as good. But it was perfect northern accent.
We can't have that. She can't go from that one to that one. Even though there's been nearly 17 years in between, we couldn't possibly allow it. But, you know, everyone said, stick with it, it will be okay. It's a bit like joining the royal family and people will accept you eventually. And they say it takes 3 years. Well, I've done 3 years and now I'm off.
Yeah.
But now they're saying, oh, we really miss Stella. You know, we love Stella. So, you know what, you just have to get on with it and hope it'll get better.
And you had a great time doing it.
I had a fantastic time. You know, I was brought up on Corrie. I watched Corrie as a kid, and to actually have been the landlady of the Rover's Return is fantastic. You know, who would turn that role down? They'd be very silly. Wouldn't you, Steve?
Yeah, definitely. Now, we're going to talk about the book because it gives moving on quickly, gives a candid account of Michelle's life, her turbulent teenage years, marred by the loss of her best friend who died aged 16 on a school trip, her battle with anorexia, her quest for success, and the transition to motherhood. Were you a bad girl as a young girl?
No, I was a good girl, but I think obviously that was a really awful part of my life. When my best friend died at the age of 16, I was 15. I wasn't with her at the time. We both went to different schools. Yeah. And I think that really affected me quite a lot. And I became a bit of a rebel and then became a punk. And I was probably a bit horrible to my mum and sort of failed all my exams and had a party where the police were called. But I became good again about the age of 17.
OK, so I'm taking that as a yes.
Yes. Yes. I was misunderstood.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through phases, though, don't they?
Listen, my daughter doesn't speak to me. She's not a rebel, but she doesn't speak to me. But that's normal for a teenager, isn't it? As long as they know you're there to keep an eye on them, they don't really speak to you.
Yeah. So you got over that phase, though. You were driven to be an actress,
anyway,
though,
yes,
weren't you?
Yes, from a very, very early age, and I don't really know where I got that from, because nobody was in show business in the family. There was no nepotism or anything. I think it was possibly seeing Tommy Steele at the Palladium and Babes in the Wood when I was... Yeah,
oh, wow.
That was very exciting.
Inspired by Tommy Steele?
Inspired by, even though he didn't give me his autograph, and it had a big effect on my life.
Oh, he was busy.
But at least I suppose I knew what I wanted to do, even though I got turned down by every single drama school when I was 17. But I still decided to carry on.
So what did you do then?
I joined a pop band.
Oh, of course you
Mary
did.
Wilson, the Wilsations. Yeah,
Yes.
because in those days you had to get your equity card. Everything was about getting your equity card because you couldn't do anything without it. So I joined Miss Beehive, the Queen of Neasden Soul, which was fantastic. And there's lots of stories in the book about my time with the band, sharing a dressing room with Kid Creole and all his coconuts. And there's a lot of coconuts, I can tell you. There was about 50,000 of us all sharing a dressing room at Dingwall's.
Cosy. We're going to come back in just a moment. Very cosy. Michelle, don't go away. Back on the programme now with fine actress Michelle Collins. Now, you mentioned the gap between EastEnders and Corrie, and of course you did Sunburn and, you know, loads of other stuff, didn't you, really?
And I was the presenter on The Word.
Was that good or was that a disaster?
Well, that title is called The World's Worst TV Presenter. Yeah. So that sort of says it all, really. Although I did meet Charlie Parsons from Planet 24, who produced it, and he said, well, you weren't that bad. And I said, no, I was, really. I only did it for about 3 or 4 months, but I didn't really enjoy it.
Why do you think you were so bad, then?
Because it's live TV, isn't it? And I just, you know what? I just couldn't really be horrible to people. I don't know why. And also, I don't think I was very good without a script. And I think a good TV presenter just makes it look easy.
I don't think you were that bad.
It was great to have been part of it. And I got to interview Sting.
Yeah, well, there we are. So there's a bonus right there.
It was worth it.
Very funny story where we had to do it in a pub upstairs. I was so nervous. I said, so what was the first thing you learnt to play on then, Sting? And he said, the linoleum. And I went, oh, what's that? I never heard of that. And he said, the lino. And I was mortified.
Oh, no, that's funny.
And then I think he felt really bad after, so he's quite nice to me after that.
Now, looking back at soaps, what is it about soaps that we like? As somebody who's been in soaps for a good proportion of your acting life.
What is it? It's a realism, just a way to get away from your own lives. And I think people's appetite for soaps have got bigger and bigger and bigger, actually, because there are more of them. I mean, in the early days of EastEnders, yes, it was getting 19, 20 million, but there was only Brookside, I think, when it started, and Coronation Street, and now there's quite a lot.
And when you left EastEnders, did you think that you would work again?
No.
But you did.
But I did. But then, you know, I am a bit of a gambler myself, and I think you just sort of know when the time is right, really. And I didn't want to be unhappy working on something. It just wasn't me, really. And actually, you know, I did leave because I was having a baby, so it sort of forced me into doing it. But actually, the timing was fantastic. And luckily enough, I did get work afterwards. But you sort of have to go by your gut feeling, I think, at the end of the day.
And how's it going to be having left Corrie? I mean, I know you've got lots of work lined up already.
I've just done 2 episodes of Casualty. I've got 1 more to do. I'm just a guest in that, but it's a nice little part.
Are you the ill person, or...?
No, I'm not.
You've been in an
really.
Accident? What's happened?
I can't really tell you. I'm not really the ill person.
Are you in a
I'm
hospital
not very
bed?
I might be. I'm just.
You're a patient, though.
Getting warmer. No.
No, you're not a
I'm not
patient.
giving it away. I'm a bit horrible. That's what I quite liked it. I'm not very nice. But anyway, I've got 1 more to go, and I'm doing a play, and it's called The Glass Supper, and it's going to be at the Hampstead Theatre from June the 22nd for 5 weeks.
Okay, brilliant. This Is Me is out right now, and we wish you only the best. It's fantastic to see you again, and good luck with the
thank
book.
you.
It's very entertaining and a good read.
I hope so. I hope people enjoy it. Thank you.
Michelle Collins, everybody.
Thank you for having me.